And I want to talk to you a little bit more about, because we're talking about, the commonalities in all these different pathways to recovery. And so I want to talk to you because what I have found is the relationship with alcohol oftentimes can be different for different individuals. And I know, based on what we heard in your story, that alcohol for you was very much something that you used to numb the emotions that you were feeling and some of the turmoil that you were going through. But that's not always the case. Like, we recently just had Blair on the show, and Blair very much said that for her it was just more of a social lubricant. And so I think that it's important to also state, like, while we're on this subject of language matters, but it doesn't, like, whatever works for you works for you. Like, alcoholism or being addicted to alcohol can absolutely mean that you were using it to cope with your feelings, or it's a social lubricant. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, what you said in your story was just so great, because you said, like, ask yourself if alcohol is bringing any value to your life, and whether you're using it as a social lubricant or you're using it to numb your emotions. That question is still pertinent, right? And it's still pivotal if you're looking to possibly make the change in removing alcohol. So I don't know. I thought it was very fascinating, but I want to talk a little bit about your personal relationship to alcohol. Can you just tell us a little bit about what alcohol did for you, and was it always something you used in that fashion?
So I think, I started drinking with friends socially, like in social environments, and learned, like, oh, this thing actually kind of makes me feel a little bit better and allows me to just like relax and forget about all the shit that's going on in my life right now. So I think I used it for a multitude of reasons, like definitely coping and just trying to like press pause on everything that was happening that felt out of my control and tremendously stressful and really upsetting and just like chaos all the time. And I used it socially, and I used it when I was happy and when I was sad. And I think, a very full spectrum of uses, and I think like we have this tendency sometimes to like re-story what happened to us, as though like alcohol was only doom and gloom. And like I'm the first to say that I had many fun nights, right, while drinking, and every single night wasn't like blacking out and throwing up the next day. Like, there were lots of times that were fun that involved alcohol, and it just got to a place where things were so dark and I was using it for terrible reasons. I mean, not that there's a great reason to use it, but like, you know what I mean? So I think it served a multitude of purposes for me, but very, in the beginning, definitely as like a coping tool. And I also think that that is a byproduct of the way that alcohol is sold to us.
Sure.
Like alcohol is sold to us as a solution for everything. We drink when we're happy, we drink when we're sad. It's like graduation or a funeral.
Right.
We're drinking all the same, right? And it's sold to us as like this solution for every possible thing that we want to do, whether we want to be happy or down or whatever. And so, for me, like, it was a very broad spectrum of the ways that I used it.
Yeah.